Hello, my name is Veronica, and welcome to the Learning Lab, episode 25, Zentangle Reloaded. That's right, I did some really creative things with some Dover design samples and some clear acetate. Come on into today's lab and let me share with you exactly how I did it. I started with some clear craft plastic or acetate from Graphics, and this is 8.5 by 11 and it's 25 sheets, but it also comes in 12 by 12. And what I like most about this is that nice tissue sheet that separates each piece of plastic within your book. This is one of those awesome piece of clip arts that I downloaded from Dover, and this one is stained glass. I can hardly wait to practice with that. Now when you print this out, it is important to sit it to the side and give it time to dry if you're using an inkjet printer. But if you don't sit it to the side, this is what happens. I was in a hurry and needed to move it, and as you can see, some of the ink off on the tissue paper that I put on top, and this was one of them. It was a frame. Try not to get too much glare on that acetate. It comes across better on camera than it does in person, but let me tell you, there are whole places in here that are missing because the ink lifted off. Here's what you get when you do it right. This is a woman in stained glass. She is so elegant. And if you're not sure about your doodling, or you're still a little afraid to jump in with both feet, Dover has wonderful mandalas, all kinds of graphic Japanese and Chinese art that comes out, and some wonderful designs, and there are loads for you to play with. And I played with this one. Had a lot of fun. Decided to use my Sakura Identipens on these. Sorry for the glare, but they are permanent. I'm going to bring in the other little strip that I did. Now on this one, I did some of my own doodling. I achieved my background by using some of the Adirondack inks, and this one happens to be the Wild Plum. And I just took it and dabbed the back. Then I turned it over on this side, and I just started doodling. I got a nice little strip that can accent a card. On this one, you can see where I've been working a bit. And no, I did not intend for that to print out in green. My printer was running out of ink, and this is what it gave me. And for this one, I just went into my Sakura glaze pens, pulled out my black one, and just started going around these circles. So let me turn and do some of it for you. And it's as simple as that. Whoa. And I'm just coming down to the home stretch here. And it really doesn't matter a whole lot about any of my green that shows, because it doesn't bother me. And so there's my completed image. Let's find out some of the wonderful things that you can do with it. A piece of cardstock, whatever your heart desires, place that behind it and give it an awesome look. I like that. This one gives a nice little sparkly sheen to the back. I think it gave it the most pop, got the most interesting look from it. Then I went to this iridescent black that has a little green shimmer in it, almost like a triple coat of ultra thick embossing enamel, and I put that there, and I thought, oh, love it. Pulled out another piece that had some of the circle motif in it. And then finally, it's just this green that has some pretty iridescence in it. And I also liked the way that it picked up that. Okay, so now feast your eyes on this one. Isn't it beautiful? I love it. I did that one using the 3D Crystal Color Lacquer from Sakura. They come in a lot of different colors, and I recently discovered they also have metallic. And I've just about completed the entire circle, but I left a little bit undone just so I can show you how this works. Now, to contain my glaze gel within the area, I did use my Sakura glaze pen, just so that when I put this down, I didn't have to worry about it spilling over into another section. And I can just imagine this as a sun catcher hanging at your window. On this one, I used the Butterscotch and Wild Plum Adirondack inks. And I know there are some people out there who say I'm just not a really good doodler, and you don't have to be. So just take your piece of acetate and put it wherever you want on your design. You wanted a paisley shape, there it is. And I think that is about all that I want to take from this sheet. So now I know some of them had little dots, and then some had this coming around the outside. And then you can go from there and just do whatever you want. Have fun. There it is, all done. And just to think, my inspiration was this nice piece of die cuts with a view paisley paper. Now on to a failure. That's right, you heard me. I was getting a little carried away, so I played with another design that I printed out from Dover. So I played around with some of my Sakura Permapack metallic pins. Yeah. And I colored in the design, did a few really wild things to it. Wasn't pleased with the way it turned out, so I went across the back with some of my Wild Plum and some Pearl mixed in Adirondack inks, and I was like, yikes, I'm still not liking that, and didn't want to let it go to waste. So because I do like the arrangement of it and some of the designs, I decided not to trash it, but to repurpose it for something else. Here we go to the Cuttlebug. To salvage this, I'm using my Cuttlebug and my curved rectangular mega spellbinder die. I'm going to take these three, and possibly him too, and get them situated on my magnetic map. And center it on top of my dies. I'm going to follow that with my B plate, then my C plate on top, and I don't think I'm going to need to shim this because I have that magnetic piece in there. I'm going to take the whole thing and feed it through my Cuttlebug. And that cracking in here is the acetate and possibly my well-loved B plate. So let's take everything out. And I'm just as anxious as you to see what we got. There it is. Let me get this cleaned out of the way so we can take a look at it. Oh wow, there it is. This could be used individually as a frame on a page. So can this one, all of these, and then you have this little centerpiece that's actually turned out now to be really cute. So these pieces can now be easily paired with something else to create a frame. So thanks again for joining me in the lab today as we took some creative play with faux Zentangle or Zentangle Reloaded. Whether or not you download a design that you trace around, color in, or mess up on your own, try combining them with some different things. For example, this Adirondack alcohol ink turned out really nice. And the faux paisley that we took from the die cuts with a view pack. I just really love how these circles turn out. And just by simply changing out the background, you change out the entire look of the card. Simply stunning. Please remember to visit me at my blog, inkallusions.blogspot.com, for more information and inspiration. Until then.